Are you tired of feeling lost and confused when it comes to command blocks in Minecraft Bedrock? Do you want to take your building and gameplay to the next level? Well, look no further. Our comprehensive guide to command blocks will give you the tools you need to master the art of automation and customization in Minecraft.
En 1140, t'es parti sur la mer, un ennemi broyé, un marin pas ordinaire. Pour les marchands, il s'était engagé, Jack il voulait voyager. Un soir de tempête, son bateau fit naufrage, près des îles Salomon, contraint à l'esclavage par des cannibales qu'il avait capturés. Il fut castré et engraissé. Captain Jack est arrivé de loin. Aujourd'hui encore on chante le refrain du pirate acadien. Captain Jack est arrivé de loin. Aujourd'hui encore on chante le refrain du pirate acadien.
Imagine being able to create a secret door that only opens with the press of a button. Or a farm that harvests and replants itself. No. That's just little stuff. There's so much more you can do. So don't wait any longer. Take your Minecraft skills to the next level and join us on our journey to command block mastery. I am Super Meow, and I will teach you everything I know about command blocks. And by the end, you will be saying that command blocks are easy. Man, there are always slimes in my videos. Oh my. Welcome and thank you for watching all of my crazy introduction. If you didn't watch my introduction, then go back and watch it. So anyway, we are learning about command blocks. And with command blocks, you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. That's what I've been talking about. Look at how my items are cycling. That's command blocks. Look at how there's particles showing up near me. That's command blocks. Look at how this portal can warp me to another place and give me different modes. And look at how this amethyst can give me health and experience and items. And what else? It can summon enemies. Oh, not just regular enemies. Really freaking dangerous enemies. And oh, I gotta get out of here now. But look at what else I can do. Boom. Teleport with a block. I love command blocks so much. A command block is a special item in my world. It teleports you. That's because I use them all the time. Here's the command room. The command block takes you to the command room. Okay. Anyway, let me not bore you. Let me show you some more commands. So, one of my favorite commands is the hyper ability. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Boom. Now I am Hyper Meow. What does Hyper Meow do? Well, I'm glad you asked. Whoosh. Okay, cool. So, I can run now. So, want to learn commands? I will teach you. No more waiting. This is the meat of the video. Here we go. This is a command block. You have to enable them in options. That is the first thing. Go into your settings and enable them in your level. The next thing to do is get one. So hit slash, the one that's on the question mark, and hit give at s, which is at yourself, and then command underscore block. Now, the reason you use underscores to connect words in codes is so that it's one single object. It's not command space block, it's command block. That's important. Now, if you wanted to give yourself a stack of them, just put 64. And if you want them to be weird command blocks, put something instead of 0. It's not really, you don't need to do any of that. Just give add as command block, boom, and then you get one. I don't need to do this because I have one in my super hot bar that cycles. So the next thing you need to do is make sure you know that the direction the command bar faces is important. See, the command block faces the direction you're facing when you put it down. So for example, this command block is facing out like that. Basically, look where the arrows are. And the circular side is the top, and the square side is the bottom. Now, there's 3 types of command blocks. Impulse, orange, repeating, purple, chain, greenish. Like a hospital green. Oh, my whole code room looks like a hospital. I need to change this. So, the impulse fires once when triggered. So if you are setting up your command blocks to run on redstone, which a lot of people do, it's very useful, it won't do anything until you trigger it. And then it'll fire once, boom, once. But if it were a repeating command block, it would fire over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So that's the difference. You're going to need to know that later. It's pretty important. I'm just going to break all this and break my demo, whatever. Now, the chain fires when it's connected to other command blocks. So you're going to be able to connect it to all sorts of other command blocks. And you can make chains like you saw in my room. Now, you can name a command block. I named this one cheese. See, so when I look at it, it says cheese. You do that by going up here and naming it. Maybe I'll name it toast now. Okay, now it's not cheese. Now it's toast, like that bunny rabbit. Now, this is just for you as the coder, so you can really quickly reference. If you have a million, you can go, oh, what's this? Oh, okay, the toast block. Good. So this is for the coder, yes. Now, the next thing you need to learn is that chains can be attached to impulse, repeat, or even other chains. This lets you run a sequence, but it only works if they're pointing correctly. They all need to be in a row and pointing in the same direction. You can't do stuff like this. And just so you know, you can't do stuff like this either. Say I got a command block and I want a chain block, and I set them up to chain like this. If I wanted to adjust it and have it turn, whoa, I'm way too fast. Okay, hold on. Tag add S, remove, Super Meow. See, this isn't gonna work. It's not even, if I put it up there and try and angle it that way, no, it's not gonna work. The only way to set these up is to have them in a stack like this. And I myself, unless you're doing something where you need to use redstone and comparators, which you're gonna, I like the vertical stack. It's easier to keep track of. I got tired of having these long commands running across the room. Just have them in a stack. If you're using command blocks, you can fly. Don't worry about it. So that shows you how to put them in order. Now, the next lesson is, what happened? No, I busted this. So this usually only applies to chain blocks, but it's the unconditional and conditional setting. Let me show you what that means. If this block is set up to make me invisible, and so is this block, if they're both set up to make me invisible, only if I'm within one block of them, then both of them are true right now. Because they're going to run and they're going to make me invisible, and that's going to be true. The command block will have done something. That's what's important. If I'm over here and these two fire, it's not going to give anyone invisibility. So the command block will have done nothing. This is important further up the chain. If the command block does nothing, a conditional chain will not fire. So if this one's set to give me speed after invisibility, it's only going to work if I get that invisibility. But this one, if it's set to unconditional and I get that and I don't get the invisibility, it's still going to try to use this command and give me speed. So conditional, unconditional is really important when you're chaining. But when you're using normal command blocks, usually you just want to leave them as unconditional. So now there's only a few things you need to know about basics. Let's go into a command block. Right here's the name. That's all it is. That's all you need to worry about. The next setting is you can change it into whatever block you want. So you don't have to ever do something like give @s repeating command block or anything. No, you don't have to do that. You can just change a regular command block to whatever block you want it to be. Now, we already talked about condition. Redstone. If a block is always active and it's a repeater, that means this is just going to be firing over and over and over and over no matter what. But if I set it to need redstone, it's going to need some sort of redstone connection before it actually works. Now, this works with impulse as well. If I set it to need redstone, it will need redstone. And once the redstone hits it, it'll fire, and that'll be it. So usually impulse isn't as needed as repeater when you get into advanced commands. Okay, what next? So execute on first tick. This is something to do with repeaters. Now, if you execute it on first tick, what that means is if you have a delay, it's going to do it sooner. So normally a command block is set to 0 delay. And what that means is it will fire every tick if it's a repeater. And if it's an impulse, it'll fire in 1 tick. If you set it to have a delay, it'll wait that many ticks. There's 20 ticks in a second. So if I set it to 20 seconds, then the second this command fires or gets energy, it's going to wait 20 seconds before running the command. But if I set it to execute on first tick, it's going to run the first tick it lights up and then wait 20 seconds to do it again and again and again and again. So I hope that makes sense. That should be real easy to understand. And then cancel just backs out of whatever you were doing in the command. It just undoes whatever you were messing with. So usually you don't want it to execute on first tick. I usually make commands that happen after a while so that I can leave them running and they're not using up all of my my server so it starts lagging. If you set it to 0, it'll cause a lot of lag. If you set it to run every 5 seconds, it's not going to cause that much lag. And usually you can do stuff with that. So the next thing is the actual command input. You can put all sorts of commands here, basically anything you want. I always put / even though in a command you don't really need it in a block. So you could say give @all diamond and you can do a stack of them, and then you can make them special tag diamonds, which we'll talk about. And then using that will make it give you those items. Now, this is where you put the commands. The previous output is the last thing you need to know. If you have this on, it'll show you the last thing this command block did, which helps you figure out when there's problems. Now, this is absolutely everything that is the basics of command blocks. So the next thing you need to learn to understand them is commands, obviously, but then you need to learn command blocks with redstone. And that's when it really gets crazy. So the next video is going to be all about learning redstone command blocks. And that's basically it, guys. I mean, I don't really know what else anyone would need to know because it gets easier from there. All the tricky stuff just becomes versions of what I've already showed you. Like right here, I have a system that causes permanent level ups. That's why I have all sorts of abilities and stuff, is because I have permanent level up RPG systems. And it's right there. And look, it's repeaters with chains. That's it. This is my advanced castle battle system. And it's repeaters with chains. Here we got something that gets a little bit more complicated. I've got a visual scoreboard. This is what shows my stats. I'm not actually showing my stats right now, so you can't see, but if I go in options, you can see that there's different stats, and I can see all of my different players' stats. But besides that, it's pretty simple. Now, if I show you what the stats look like, you'll see what I mean. That command is advanced, and it gives me this. See, you can see my name, my meower level, my key charge, and my cat crystals. That's later, don't worry, but we're going to get there. I'm going to teach you every single command. This thing, this awful looking thing right here, this is my UHC machine, which holds UHC events in Bedrock. It is in the making, and you will see it by the end of this series. And that's it. Just look around. It's all very simple, but I still haven't taught you the redstone, because that is a little bit trickier, and it's gonna really show you how you can do anything. So tune in for the next one. I am Super Meow, and I want you to like and subscribe and ring that bell now.